Recently, I read an article talking about this Italian dude who sold an invisible sculpture for $18,500, and I thought, my goodness, there are so many people in the coaching, consulting, service providers, small business owners who feel bad selling something for $500, who feel bad for charging $25, for charging too much money. In this video, we are going to talk about the internal and the strategic pieces. So the internal game that we need to go through, the internal, sometimes the limiting beliefs, the things that come up from the inside out that keep us from feeling in our power in charging those kinds of prices. And we're also going to talk strategy. What are the things that you actually need to put together so you can successfully start selling at the above $1,000 level for whatever you're selling? You can be a coach, you can be a consultant, you can be a massage therapist, you can be an events planner, you can be someone who sells cakes, right? If you want to sell something more expensive than you're currently selling, most of you are probably underpricing yourselves and you just don't know how. Follow me to the other side because we're going to dive in. Hello and welcome to our show here where we work with coaches, consultants, service providers, and small business owners just like you so you can bring on more clients, you can close more sales, and you can live into the life of your dreams while making an impact in the world. My name is Luz Gonzalez, and along with my husband, Matt Jaxtis, we run highticketclientonline.com. You can go over to highticketclientonline.com to learn a little bit more about us. You can also find that here below. And today, we are going to be talking about how you, yes you, can put together an offer that is a multi-$1,000 offer, feeling the confidence, feeling good about putting together such a package offer program. There's differing things in terms of what that means. And also having the skill set, because it brings in two pieces. You need to have your internal game feeling good about charging high prices. And then you also need the skill set. You need to know how to do it. So there's the science and the art. And so in this video, we're going to be jumping into more of that. Now, imagine if you felt like you knew how to put together an offer that was multi-thousands, many thousands of dollars. You knew how to price your products, services, package, pricing, whatever it is that you're putting together. You knew how to price it. You knew what needed to go in there. So when people saw it, they'd be like, yeah, it's only $5,000. My God, that's a steal. And you also felt really good about not giving too much away, not feeling like, God, I feel like I'm just giving, but I almost feel like it feels yucky, right? Where you're like, I don't feel like I'm in integrity with myself anymore because I just feel like I'm cheapening my products and services. So there is a way for you to have the confidence and the skill set, and that's exactly what we're going to be covering here today. So there is a way for you to have the confidence and the skill set, and this skill right here can absolutely change your life. This can change your life from just not even feeling good about and confident about selling something for a few dozen, like 10, 20, 30, $90 and feeling, oh, like it's too much, to having the strength and the confidence to say this is $5,000 and feeling good about it. Not just you feeling good about it, but the person on the other side feeling good about it and saying, yes, absolutely, I am in. This skill alone can absolutely change your life. So I want you to listen up to the steps that I'm going to go through because this can change everything for you. Now, I've been there. We haven't always had the experience that we now have, clearly. And I remember at the beginning when, especially with multiple $1,000 packages as a coach, I just thought, yeah, I want to charge $5,000 for a program, but I just don't know how. I just got started. I don't even know where I would begin. And it felt like I was just going around in circles and I would see that other people were charging that much, but I just felt like Like I just couldn't see it. I was like, I literally don't know how to put together an offer that can go for multiple thousands of dollars. And so if that's been you, let's dive in to the 3 things that you need to know to successfully and confidently put together packages, offers, and programs that can be sold for multiple thousands of dollars. Now, step number 1, you want to make sure that you have a knockout value-based offer. Number 1, within number 1, don't compete on price. If you're competing on price, you're just part of a game that just leads in disaster. If you are like, oh, well, that person has a lower price, and if you're competing on price, you're not going to win this game. You want to compete on value, because if you're competing on value, then you can differentiate yourself, and you want to be one of the providers that provides the most value and therefore has the higher prices. And that can be done by really understanding the market that you're working with and putting together a really powerful offer that provides a lot of value. Again, so you are not focusing on competing on price. You should know what the prices are in your space, but you shouldn't try to be like, oh, well, like that's $500, we're $500 less. It's like, no, like that should be out of the equation, because the value that you're providing is so unique and so specific to that group of people. They're like, obviously, I want to work with you, and that sounds like a great deal given all the value that I'm getting. Next, you want to make sure that you actually get people results, right? So it's not enough to just say like, oh, I can tell you a really good story and, make you really excited. No, you have to know that if people are working with you, that you're going to deliver on the promises that your business has shared, right? So if you can have both internal and external results. The external is more like tangible, like made this much money, or like I, got the massage, whatever it is. And the internal is going to be a little bit more like the internal, get my feel better, mindfulness, progress of your spirituality. So you can have results, but you just have to make sure that you understand what results are really important for the group of people that you're working with. Now, as we think of creating a really knockout offer that's based on value, I want you guys to think about 3 things, 3 ways that you can work with people. There's done with you, there's done for you, and then there's do it yourself. Each of these falls in a different place along the value continuum. When it's done for you, and especially if it gets quick results, that's going to be more valuable. Done with you, again, depending on immediacy to results, that's going to be more valuable than a do-it-yourself. And so that's what you're playing with as you're thinking, well, how exactly is it that I'm going to be working with people? And to wrap up how we think about putting together our offers, when, at the end of the day, you're like, this is all the things that I packed into this offer, this program, this package, your total value should be at least 5 to 10x what you're charging for your program. So if you're charging $1,000, it should be at least $10,000 of value. And the more value that you can pack in, really understanding the people that you're working with, the easier it's going to be for them to be like, absolutely, yes, $1,000 is a steal, or $5,000 is a steal. Step number 2, super, 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 super important, is you have to have the right solution for the right market. This one, I think, gets just like, for some reason, it doesn't get the focus and the attention that it needs to by entrepreneurs. I think it can be really easy to think, okay, I have this thing that I want to do, and I don't care who I work with, I'm just gonna go put this in the world and it's gonna be successful. And unfortunately, it doesn't usually work that way. So what's really important is for you to know first the who, and then what's the solution thereafter, right? So who are you really excited to work with? Who are you qualified? You have experience, you know you can get results for. Who? And this might mean that, if there isn't a who that has money and that you're excited to work with, means that potentially you might need more skill sets for you to be able to work with this kind of who, right? So first of all, there's the who, and then after we understand who we're excited and just like, I will become whoever I need to become to be able to serve this group of people, because I just love serving them. I love working with them, and I'm super excited to grow myself. So you want to get to that place first. after you're there, you're like, yes, we are committed, right? So for us, it's small business owners. We're like, we love, especially small business owners that are using their business to make the world a better place and making a change in the world. It's like, yes, we will continue to grow and we will continue to be committed to this group of people, and we will do whatever it takes to serve them better and better every single day. So when you have that, then there's this concept that we talk about with our clients. It's called the nay principle. It's not about you. If you make it about you, this whole business thing is gonna be harder. So we wanna leave our ego at the door. This whole like, oh, but I wanted, that's ego, right? That's like you building a business for you. And for successful businesses, really you wanna think about them. Yes, you should be happy and you should be fulfilled, but in service of a group of people that you are just super thrilled about, right? So once we know who this group of people is, and I want you guys to ask, like, what are all of the problems that this group of people has? What are all the problems that they have? And what are the problems that I'm excited to help them solve? And what are the problems that I have the skill set to help them solve? And that will help you know who it is that you're going to be working with on what specific problem. Here I want you guys to also think about and go back to the training if you haven't already seen it for USGA, right? So if you're like, I think it's just look for USGA in our YouTube channel. You can also find it on our website, highticketclientonline.com. So go to that training, and USGA stands for 5 factors that are super, super important for you to actually build a profitable business. It's going to be urgency, specificness, a group of people that is easily identifiable and that you can have, contact with easily, like others on the internet or offline, in the tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of people congregating in one place. They need to have the ability and the willingness to pay for your products and services. If all of these 5 factors have been met, then it is going to be easier for you to get yeses, right? Because you have made yourself relevant. You are creating a solution that is unique, that is specific to a group of people that actually have the amount of money to pay you. When we think back to that sculpture sold for over $18,000, he was going after a group of people that had that sort of money and were interested in novel art, right? So he wasn't just like walking around town and selling an $18,000 sculpture to toddlers. No, he was in the right market. So it's so critical and so important for you to be in the right market. And step number 3, which I don't think gets enough focus and attention, is the internal game within yourself. What does that mean? So many people have core wounds, right? They have this baggage, internal spiritual baggage they're carrying around with them into business. They have stories that they heard from when they were little or, at important parts in their development as a human being that say, money is bad, money is evil, you don't want to be greedy, all of these stories, right? If you gain, then you take away from somebody else. You should feel dirty and bad for making money, for how dare you, who do you think you are to charge that much money? These are all stories. These are all limiting beliefs that people are carrying with them. And we need to understand that as we are in business, our brain is in business, right? And our brain is composed of 3 main parts that I want you guys to understand. There's the reptilian part of your brain, right? The base. And you have the limbic system. This is your emotional brain. And then you have the neocortex. And a lot of our purchasing decisions don't come from the neocortex, the thinking part of your brain. They actually come from the base, the more reptilian, like looking for safety, and the emotional part of your brain. And that's like, so your subconscious. That's where a lot of our decisions are coming from in terms of purchasing, but also selling in the sort of business that we do. And so we get to develop ourselves and do some healing work and get to a place where you feel good, right? Like it could be that maybe you learn that it wasn't safe for you to ask for what you want. And until we approach that and work with that and say like, you know what? I am going to be safe if I ask for what I want. It's safe for me. It is okay. I want you guys to figure out what are the fears? What are the limiting beliefs? I want you guys to write down a list of when you think of like, yeah, I am excited to charge $5,000 for my program, for my offer, for this thing that I want to put in the world. And I want you guys to think like, what are the fears? What are the worries, the concerns? If I do this, what might happen? I want you guys to write those down, because that's what you get to work with, right? That's what you get to transform and transmute into something that's powerful. Because as long as we have that stuff holding us back, we can want the success as much as possible, but our subconscious is going to, you guys have probably heard about self-sabotage, going to show up. So I want you guys to, one, have an understanding of what are the stories that you have when it comes to money and charging a lot of money and people. So I want you guys to finish the sentence. People who charge a lot of money are, when I charge a lot of money, and just finish those sentences. I worry that if I charge a lot of money, so to do this exercise and get to know your internal world. And then I want to share a perspective, right? That, especially for a lot of the heart-centered people that we work with, there's a lot of fears and, you know, these messages that have been with you for a while. And I used to have them, and one of my mentors shared something that completely changed my life and my perspective. And this was, you are actually doing a disservice when we charge low ticket prices because we don't allow them to invest in themselves at this high level that requires more from them. If it was a bottle of wine, right? And if I told you this bottle of wine is $2 and this bottle of wine over here is, you know, $100, which one do you think is going to be more valuable? The one that's $100, right? Even though it's the same wine in both bottles, this one feels more valuable just because of the price. So literally, by being in the high ticket space, you are creating a more valuable offer. You're creating a more valuable thing that you're bringing into the world. Again, you want to make sure that you feel good about the work that you're doing and that it gets results, but they're going to perceive it. And, you know, people who pay attention. People who pay a lot of attention. And if you, as a business owner, want to have incredible testimonials, you want people to pay attention, you want people to do the work and show up, especially if you're, you know, someone like a coach, a consultant, service provider, you need some sort of buy-in from your clients. If you charge high prices, they're going to be a lot more incentivized. They're going to be like, yes, like, whoo, that pushed me. Now I'm gonna get to work because that wasn't cheap. So I'm gonna roll up my sleeves and I am gonna go for it, right? You give them the opportunity to change their lives and to step up to a different level. So just know that high ticket sales and sales generally are a life-changing, life-transforming, life-giving vehicle. And I, you know, encourage you and I share that with you because it might change how you think of high ticket sales and how you think about, you're not taking, you're giving. You are giving and you are becoming a vehicle, a channel for change and transformation. So when we look at it, 1, you need to have a knockout offer. 2, you need to have the right solution and the right market. And 3, you have to believe in high ticket sales. You have to believe that it is a good thing that you're doing. You have to like the high ticket space. And when you do those 3 things, you can successfully sell things at multiple thousands of dollars, having people really be excited about working with you and being excited about paying you lots of money. That's it for today. If you took something away from that, let us know in the comments below. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to go to our website, highticketclientonline.com. We have a couple of books there. You can also find them on Amazon. We have, video series. We have trainings. We have Gosh, we have the free resources where you can go to the free resources tab on our website. We have a Facebook group that you should definitely join. And if you are ready to take your life, take your business to the next level, if you are ready to know how to have the confidence and the skill set to put together offers and packages at a high ticket level, then just go to a link that's going to be down here, and it's going to say 15-minute conversation. Let's jump on the phone and see where you're at, and let's look at your offers. Let's see how you can have an offer makeover, and let's make you a person that successfully and confidently sells at high ticket level. That's it for today. We'll catch you again next time.